So when trouble happens in a relationship and partners start to have maybe doubts, start to worry, start to question whether the dynamic is actually helping them or not, or helping you guys or not. And it can feel like your partner is on the edge of leaving, ready to leave. Maybe they've even mentioned that they're feeling like they want to leave. A lot of people can feel like this is the end and can fall into a panic state. But if addressed in the right way, this can actually be a very powerful moment for the rest of your relationship. So in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly what to do if your partner feels like they're ready to leave the relationship. When someone we love threatens to leave, our immediate instinct can be to try to pull them back, to apply pressure, to essentially try to control the situation. That is what our gut instinct usually tells us to do. And the reason why is because control feels safe. When we feel like we're in control, it feels like a moment of safety for us. But when it comes to situations like this, your partner feels like they're drifting away from you or they're wanting to leave the relationship. Control from you in this moment doesn't bring them closer. Control triggers more distance. This is what my members and I call the paradox of control. The more you try to force something, the more you try to control what somebody else does, the less control that you usually have of it. The moment you try to force something that sits outside of you, external to you, the more you completely lose your grip on it. So if you're getting that gut feeling that your partner is on the way out, or maybe they've even mentioned it, or maybe they've even said, hey, look, I am leaving. Think about the common moves that people make in this situation. Giving an ultimatum. If you can't make up your mind, then I'll make it up for you. Or maybe even guilt tripping. Saying, you can't leave me, look at all we have together. Or even logical persuasion. Here's all the reasons why you shouldn't leave. All of these common moves fail because they essentially strip away autonomy. They raise resistance and they create deep emotional discords. So a lot of people think that they're not controlling. The problem is that when you ask their partner whether they're controlling, usually the answer is a little grayer, a little less black and white, yes or no. So let's talk about what control actually is. Control is not leadership. A lot of people think that control is all about leadership. A lot of people think that control is love. A lot of people mix the two things up, especially when they don't realize they're being controlling. Control, or a sense of trying to control a situation immediately, is usually just anxiety masquerading as behavior. So controlling actions, trying to control what somebody else does, is usually a mechanism under the hood of the vehicle. When we feel like there's a threat to the relationship, we can fall into panic mode and we can engage in what a lot of psychologists call protest behavior. So this is panic mode manifesting in a way of control. But what your partner doesn't see is pain because they're looking at your behaviors. So when you try to become controlling, you try to fall into controlling the situation to ease your anxiety, what your partner experiences is what we call reactance. This is their autonomy defense kicking in and they start to pull away. Out of the examples that we mentioned before, take ultimatums. An ultimatum saying you either need to figure it out or I'm going to make the decision for you, as an example. It doesn't inspire closeness. It actually forces a decision. It forces your partner into self-protection mode instead of connecting. Because if you think about it, you're basically forcing a decision on them. So you're pushing them away. Then think about guilt tripping. Guilt creates shame, and shame kills the emotional environment. This is what we talk a lot about on this channel, is a safe emotional environment for you and your partner to be able to get closer. So shame destroys any chance of an honest connection. But then think about persuasion. Think about listing reasons why they should stay. These logical reasons, this kind of courtroom logic fails when the issue is an emotional one. It's not about missing information. They have all the information. They've lived it, but it's an emotional state, not a logical one. So you can't logic someone into feeling like they are secure with you. So the problem comes from all of these behaviors, trying to control the situation. The more you chase reassurance of trying to control the situation, the more your peace of mind depends entirely on their response. You're handing them the keys to your emotional well-being. You're taking all of your control, you're putting it out onto somebody else. When you do this, you have an external locus of control. You're basically saying, everything in my life is dependent on all of these things around me. But when you start to shift into a more internal locus of control, then that's when things start to change. So your only job right now is your behavior. So if your partner feels like they want to leave, or they've told you that they want to leave, or you just get that sense, your regulation, your standards, and what you do is going to be the most important thing. And this is having a strong internal locus of control. So the question becomes, how do you let go? How do you let go of them whilst regaining the control of yourself and your situation? So let's talk about what letting them go actually means and what it actually does. So there's a massive misconception about letting go or detachment from a situation. Letting go does not mean giving up. It's not giving up on the relationship. It's not giving up on your partner. It doesn't mean pretending that you don't care. It's about healthy detachment, healthily detaching from the situation. It means releasing the paradox of control. Stop trying to control external circumstances and controlling the internal actions that have the influence on whether your partner wants to leave or not. So this is about keeping your self-respect, staying entirely open to the truth, but giving your partner the full freedom to choose whether they want to be in the relationship or not. If you're giving your partner the full autonomy to choose whilst staying fully in control of what you do and your actions, that counterintuitively actually rebuilds attraction, because it means that they have the freedom to make that choice for themselves, and they don't feel that pressure to stay with you just because of the logical things that you're trying to get them to see. The reason why this is so powerful is because chosen love is the only love that actually holds. It's the only love that actually lasts. And this is why when you see all this X-back advice online, it is very short term. It's about pressuring. It's about trying to push someone into a situation where they want to be in a relationship with you. But it's not the lasting autonomous love that actually matters. Building that takes a longer time, more work, but it actually creates a relationship that is strong for both of you. Giving autonomy increases honest desire. Pressure ends up destroying it. You know, if you think about attraction, people naturally move towards a secure emotional environment. They don't move towards coercion. They don't move towards pressure. No one moves towards someone that they feel pressured by. If you think about a really bad salesman, when a bad salesman has left a bitter taste in your mouth, you don't think, I feel like I want to go back and have them force more options onto me to try to get me to hand over my money. You don't wander towards that. If you do buy from a bad salesman, you usually walk away with kind of a bitter feeling, a feeling of regret afterwards. And that's the thing when it comes to short-term reconciliation, is that when reconciliation happens, you want it to be chosen rather than a short-term coercion, if that makes sense. But when you let go, when you detach from the situation, you're breaking the loop of frantic, panicked behaviors. You build a much stronger and more secure emotional environment. And this shifting moves you from a place of reaction and weakness to a position of true emotional strength and resilience. And this all comes from having a very high standard for emotional regulation. By letting go, it means that if they do return, it happens by choice, not by compliance. And decisions that are made by choice with full freedom, it means that they are fully bought into it. And this is why when it comes to reconciliation, it's really important to give your partner full autonomy to make that choice by themselves, because it means that they're not going to regret it in 6, 12 months' time. So what do? You feel like your partner wants to leave. Maybe even they've told you that they want to leave. What can you do right now in order to let go of control, but influence the situation to increase the chances of repairing the relationship long-term? So starting right now, make the promise to yourself. No more ultimatums, no more guilt trips, no more courtroom logic, and absolutely no pressure. Instead of this, reframe your thoughts. Tell yourself, I can't control their choice. I can only control my actions. I can only control how I manage my emotions. I can only control how I communicate. I can only control all of the things that I do. This allows you to focus on the actions that you do every day to build your self-esteem, build your communication relationship skills. You can't build any of this through hoping. You have to do it through action and build it through your behavior. And just before I move forward, this is exactly what I do with all of my members, is learning the right skills, the right tools, the right mindsets in order to build everything that you need to cultivate a strong and healthy relationship long-term. And if you do want to start that journey, then join my relationship bootcamp. This is where all of my members start to start learning about what creates a strong and healthy relationship and how you can start today in order to repair it long-term. I'll I'll leave a link in the description if you want to grab your spot. So being able to shift your focus completely inward, start logging your emotions, tracking your triggers, catching and reframing your thoughts before they take over and cause you to do actions that may not be effective in repairing the relationship. But also make sure you're tightening up your communication. When you're speaking, learn how to validate, learn how to get on to your partner's level, being able to label and lean into their emotions, any tough truths that you may hear, being able to lean into them, ask more questions about it. That builds the connection, it builds the comfort, and it raises the emotional environment for both of you. This is really important. This is for any relationship moving forward. Being able to build that strong emotional environment as well as the other environments are going to be really important. But when it comes to communication, stop making loaded emotional bids. Stop looking for validation from your partner. Being able to self-validate is going to allow you to clean up your communication in such a way that you'll be able to lead the conversation to a very healthy place for both of you, cultivating that long-term relationship. Making sure that you return to the basics, making sure that you're sleeping, you're eating, you're exercising. This may sound basic and may sound dumb to a lot of you, but making sure that you have those foundations. You can't make strong, rational decisions and control your emotions if your nervous system is completely fried. Making sure that you're stabilizing it with at least those 3 things. And most of all, start asking yourself better questions. Where am I being reactive? Where am I chasing? What skill do I need to work on next in order to cultivate the relationship that I want? Obviously, this is a YouTube video, so I can't dig into it all in this one, but I've actually done deeper dive videos on all of these questions, on what skills are important to rebuilding and repairing a relationship, but making sure that you're focusing on the right skills. That is the only way. That is the most powerful thing that you can do, and that increases your chances massively of your partner wanting to return to the relationship. So like I said, I won't dig into it here. I'll leave you with that deep dive video, and I'll see you over there.